Hello, my name is Monique Peterson and I'm the Graduate Advisor and Student Services Coordinator for SCAR. I would like to take this time to welcome you to the Master's Program and use this presentation to provide you with some useful information to help you get started prior to starting the program. It is our hope that this presentation will also help you to prepare for your new career as a graduate student. So let's get started. The first thing I would like to go over is advising. During your undergraduate career, you probably have one advisor whom you went to discuss course options, career advice, how to transfer credits, and so on. Here at SCAR, you will have a faculty mentor and a staff advisor. Each new student is assigned a faculty mentor prior to attending the program. To do this, we use the information provided in your admissions application, as well as from the input you provided when you completed the enrollment process. We want you to select the faculty person that best matches your interests right now. We encourage you to get to know as many faculty as possible. You may come into the program confident of who you want to work with and what areas you want to focus on, which is fine. But after spending some time getting to know and taking some classes with various faculty, you may find yourself wanting to change mentors. This is an easy fix that we can do at any time. We encourage you to take advantage of their expertise and all the experiences you encounter to help you build your graduate career. Your faculty mentor will help you discuss the following: conflict resolution topics, areas, regions of interest. They'll help you review general program requirements and plans of study. They'll give you guidance regarding best choices of integration requirement options. And then they can also give you some guidance on best programs, centers, activities to become involved in, as well as making contacts and networking within the field. In addition to a faculty mentor, you will have a staff advisor. I'm a staff advisor, as well as Lisa Shaw, the Director of Student Services and Field Experience, who you will meet when you attend orientation. Each student will have an initial consultation with the staff advisor, myself or Lisa, over the summer prior to attending orientation. Our job is to help guide you through the technical pieces of your academic program. We can be contacted about student services available within SCAR, as well as George Mason University in general. Some sample items to discuss with us are designing your plan of study and program requirements, course recommendations, so what courses to take when. We can discuss your workload, employment situation. You might be working full-time or part-time, and how to balance being able to take courses and work. We can talk about transfer of credit, course substitutions. Maybe you've taken some courses or want to take courses at another institution. We can discuss your integration options and provide some resources, general registration issues, career services and resources, and graduation, just to name a few things. Many faculty do know the mechanics and some don't, which is fine, but we hope that students will build a relationship with both their mentor and advisor to make the process as smooth and enriching as possible. In thinking about your plan of study at SCAR over the next 2 years or more, you should consider what your overall goals of the program are when choosing your courses. If you would prefer to focus on practice, you may want to complete an internship or join an applied practice and theory team, which I will discuss later. Or you may want to add a certificate program which has a very practice-focused curriculum. If you wish to focus more on the development of the theory within the field of conflict resolution, you may choose more theory-based courses as your elective and choose to complete a master's thesis. As an SCAR student, you will receive a foundation in theory, research, and practice, but you can tailor your degree specifically to an interest of your choice. The MS Plan of Study sheet is to help you map out when you think you would take your courses throughout your time at SCAR and get an idea of when you plan to complete your degree. It is not required to submit this form to SCAR formally. It's more of a guide to help you organize your plan of study. Use this when discussing your plans with your advisor or with an SCAR staff member. The document can be found on the incoming students page for your reference. Two of the key, most important websites you would use while as a student here are Patriot Web and the University Catalog. You will use Patriot Web to check your academic progress as you move through the program, as well as view your transcripts and grades. This is also where you will search and register for courses, pay your tuition bill, view your financial aid award, etc. The University Catalog is also an important website to become familiar with. Here you will find course information and various general and academic policies within George Mason University and specific to SCAR. It is updated every academic year, so make sure this is something you are referring to if you have questions. Both are great resources. Another useful resource is the course descriptions and syllabi page. As you start to look at the schedule of classes and figure out what courses you want to take, this page will help you in making decisions about those courses. On the SCAR website, under Academics, Courses and Syllabi, you will find the full list of SCAR courses for each term, along with the descriptions and any available syllabi. We may not have a syllabus for each course, especially well before the start of the semester, but you can view archived syllabi to give you a sense of what a course is like. If a syllabus is not on our website, you may need to contact the instructor directly to see if they can have a draft copy available for you. So now we can discuss the requirements for your master's degree. 41 total credits are required to complete the degree. This is broken down into 3 components: required, elective, and integrative courses, or integrative option as you may hear it referred to. There are 5 required courses which total 15 credits. Everyone will take Conflict 501, which is the introductory course, and you'll take this during your first semester. Conflict 642 is Integration of Theory and Practice, and it's also referred to as your capstone course, which will be taken during your last semester. These are really the 2 bookend courses for the program. The other 3 courses, Conflict 601, 610, and 620, will be taken throughout the rest of your time here. Conflict 501 is a prerequisite or co-requisite for almost all of the other courses. There are certain things to think about when deciding what to take when. For example, if you're planning on doing an applied practice and theory team or internship, you need to take Conflict 620 within your first year, or well before you do an internship or APT. If you're planning on writing a master's thesis, you may want to take Conflict 610 early on in your study as opposed to taking it at the same time you're writing your thesis. You may want to take some of these courses before taking some of your electives as well, but you can discuss all of this with your advisor. There is flexibility, but it's important to know that Conflict 601 should be first and Conflict 642 should be last, as it's the class that brings everything all together. Conflict 610 is the core research class, 620 is the core practice course, and Conflict 601 is the core theories course. The idea is that each SCAR master student will get the same great foundation courses, theory, research, and practice. Then you will build the rest of your degree around your electives geared towards your specific interest in the field. For electives, you have 20 credits to complete, which is really half of your degree. This gives you a lot of freedom to, again, tailor your degree to your interest. There's a huge variety of elective courses you can take depending on your interest area and priorities. So choose wisely. Think about what you want to do career-wise, what sort of organizations you may want to work for. Maybe you're considering public policy, education, or nonprofit. And this will help you decide what you would like to do with your elective credits. These courses are listed at the 600 and 700 series. You can also take graduate certificate courses. These courses are taught on the weekends in an intensive practice-focused format. They only need a handful of weekends for a shorter amount of time as opposed to the regular semester format, which is once a week for about 15 to 16 weeks. You can take courses within the consortium as well. There's an agreement with about 15 universities in the DC area where you can take a course at, say, American University, for example, and have it count towards your degree at SCAR. You would pay George Mason tuition, but you would be taking the class at American University. This is a fantastic opportunity to take a course in the area that SCAR or George Mason might not specialize in and add it to your SCAR degree. You have a maximum of 1 consortium class taken each term with a max of 6 credits total that can be counted towards your degree. So that means you can have 2 credits outside of the department to equal 6 credits. And then you have the option of taking courses in another department here at George Mason. This can be any department you choose as long as it makes sense as to what your long-term goals are. For example, some students have a particular region or culture they want to study, so they take courses in geography or anthropology. You must first get permission from me or Lisa about which course you would like to take, then contact the department to see what their procedure is for students outside of their program taking their courses. You may also transfer in credits from a course you took prior to enrollment at SCAR that was not counted towards another degree. But just keep in mind that there is a 6-credit max of non-SCAR coursework that can be counted towards the overall degree. You really can personalize your degree. So not just by choosing your elective credits, but what you choose to do outside of the program. Students with interest in a particular category of conflict should really consider joining relevant working groups. And what a working group is a student-based group that usually has a faculty advisor, and they have a like-minded interest. So they meet outside of class, and they might, discuss current events. They might work on developing a presentation to present at a conference and things like that. And some of the groups that we have right now are gender and conflict, and there's also African conflict groups. These groups are usually either topic-based or region-based. Some groups are more active than others, but those that have been particularly active have presented at conferences or assisted organizations in creating projects and things like that. This is a good way to network with other students as well as engage with different faculty members. Something else that you can do is construct relevant papers focused on a specific interest or category. So within your classes, you'll have the opportunity to write papers and develop projects that will help you focus on a particular piece of the conflict resolution field. So this is an incredible way to tailor your program as well. Another thing you can do is add a certificate program. And there are 4 certificates within SCAR that you can choose from. These are much more practice-focused, based specializations, and certificates are much more practical, skills-based qualifications that you can add to your master's program. The 4 graduate certificate tracks are Conflict Analysis and Resolution Advanced Skills, Conflict Analysis and Resolution Collaborative Leadership and Community Planning, Conflict Analysis and Resolution for Prevention, Reconstruction, and Stabilization Context, and World Religions, Diplomacy, and Conflict Resolution. So simply put, students take 6 additional credits for a total of 47 credits to receive both the MS and a certificate as opposed to the 41 for the MS only. You would follow the certificate program curriculum. There are 5 courses to take for each certificate within your MS, and then you would take 2 courses over the 41, and the other 3 courses will count towards your certificate in MS at the same time. If you're interested in adding certificate but are not sure which one, you can certainly speak to Mara Shaney, the certificate program director, or myself for more information and to see if it's a good fit for you. If so, a secondary program form will need to be submitted to the registrar's office. You can contact me for this form to be processed. Just please note that the process should be completed within the first year of your MS study. The third component of the MS program are the integrative courses, or as we sometimes call it, the integration options. The options you have as your key signature pieces of your degree is joining an applied practice theory team, or you may hear it called APT for short, an internship, or the traditional master's thesis. Applied Practice and Theory, or APT, is a year-long 6-credit course, or a project really, that provides real hands-on experience in a group environment. We have domestic APT teams and international teams. The international teams will usually do all of their research and planning here, but plan for a 2-week trip around spring break to conduct interviews, collect data, etc. Depending on what their project design is, many students have described this integration option as the best in combining research, theory, and practice, even though you will likely combine all 3 with the internship and thesis options as well. Currently, APTs start in the fall and end in the spring semester. We've had APT teams work on gentrification issues in DC, to conflict resolution education in public schools, to ethnicity and conflict within South Africa. If interested in an APT project for the upcoming academic year, please contact the SCAR Director of Field Experience, Lisa Shaw, for details. An internship is another way to focus on practice and get real experience within your graduate degree at SCAR. You can complete an internship domestically or abroad. Students identify what type of internship they would like to do and work with the SCAR Director of Field Experience, Lisa Shaw, on the details for setting it up officially and completing this requirement. Students have interned for government agencies, nonprofit organizations, private organizations, and through the Center for Global Education at George Mason. Students taking Conflict 694, the internship, are required to complete Conflict 620 and 18 hours of coursework before registering for internship. You need to get approval of your internship and completion of internship application, as well as the site supervisor agreement, which all should be submitted to the SCAR Director of Field Experience before the internship begins. You need to perform at least 160 hours of supervised work in analysis and or resolution of conflict per 3 credits. So if you're taking the 6 credit option, you would have 320 hours to complete. How to accomplish this will be something that you work out with your internship supervisor. And finally, your assignments will include the internship blog, and you have a final project, which is a 15 to 25 page paper, as well as a master's e-portfolio. Upon completion of the internship, the site supervisor submits an evaluation of the intern to the field experience director, which is included as part of your grade. So again, any questions that you have about internship, you can reach out to Lisa Shaw. Students can choose to do a combo of internship and professional development seminars. You would complete a 3 credit internship and then 3 credits of Conflict 795. Sample 795 courses are interviewing skills, dying for ideology, facilitation skills, conflict transformation from the inside out, problem solving workshop. We have lots of 795 options for you. The courses are usually taught over a weekend or a handful of Fridays as opposed to meeting each week like a traditional course. Here are some examples of where our SCAR graduate students have interned in the past. We have the Northern Virginia Mediation Services, the Institute for Multi-Track Diplomacy, the Department of State, and so on. You should really work with Lisa and our career advisor, Jackie Finch, to find internships that are geared towards your specific interests. The third option one can choose is Thesis. It is considered to be the traditional integration option. Students who wish to later apply to PhD programs usually need to submit a research-based paper, and a master's thesis is a perfect example. However, if you are thinking of doing a PhD program later on, it isn't always required that one previously completed a master's thesis. It's recommended that students complete 1 credit of the thesis proposal course, which is Conflict 797, and 5 credits of thesis, which is Conflict 799, or take 6 credits in total of Conflict 799. Though it's not required, it's recommended to take Conflict 797 during your 2nd semester at SCAR if you plan to study full-time. If you decide not to complete a thesis after taking 797, the 1 credit will count towards your elective. There are a lot of details that go along with completing a thesis, and we aren't able to really go over everything in detail during this presentation, but please take home with you that if you're thinking about this option, you need to pay close attention to your thesis timeline to meet formatting and submission guidelines. You will need to turn in an official copy to George Mason by a specific deadline. Missing your deadlines could delay your graduation. There are details on thesis guidelines, timelines, and registration processes on the SCAR website and the George Mason University thesis/dissertation website. Be sure to check over the information if you are planning on completing a thesis. At times, thesis can be very challenging for students since there is no physical class that you have to show up to. The progress of work is solely up to the student. It is the student's responsibility to be in touch with their committee chair and committee members about the progress of their thesis. Talking with your faculty advisor about this integration option will help you decide if this is the right option for you. Here's some sample thesis titles from years past. There's a collection of thesis copies in the John Burton Library and Resource Center for your reference. As some of you may know by now, SCAR has a Master's International program with the Peace Corps. You still have time to become a Master's International student if you wish to pursue this program. You would need to apply to the Peace Corps and apply as an MI student since you have now been accepted into our graduate program. If accepted into the Peace Corps, you would continue to take credits to reach a total of 29 credits at SCAR. Then you would complete the 27-month services overseas, return to SCAR to complete your degree, which you should have 6 credits remaining. While you're overseas, you're technically completing an internship, which would be your integration option. The university will also pay for these 6 credits while you are abroad. The SCAR Director of Field Experience is the Master's International Coordinator for SCAR, Lisa Shaw. Please be in touch with her or myself if you would like to start the MI program. Finally, we wanted to emphasize that writing papers will be a huge part of your graduate school experience. If you feel that you may need assistance with your writing, please be aware that there are resources available to help you. There is the Writing Center and the English Language Institute for non-native English-speaking students. Utilize these resources as often as needed to help make your graduate career as smooth as possible. If you have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to contact me or Lisa Shaw. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you at orientation.